Professor Ashok Gulathi is someone I spoke to a short while ago, one of the country's leading agriculture economists. Professor Gulathi, you are a great proponent of these farm reforms. Tell me then, why is there so much opposition in Punjab? Why are so many farmers coming out on the street if, as you claim, they will benefit from these farm reforms? Why are they then so angry?
You know, the misinformation campaign that was launched, that all these laws would demolish APMC Mandi system, MSP will disappear, even your lands will be captured by the big corporates. All this massive misinformation campaign was launched. And naturally, the farmers start thinking, oh, maybe, you know, if not today, maybe tomorrow, something heavens are going to fall. Whereas nothing of that sort is written either in those farm laws. And I mean, there may be a bit of politics behind that, but I feel primarily the way government should have communicated to the farmers, organizations, and others, I think there is a communication failure.
Is it just a communication failure? Is it just misinformation, Professor Gulathi, or are the concerns genuine that the APMC system will be dismantled and it will lead to some form of monopolies or a capitalist takeover of the system wherein the small and marginal farmers will in particular lose out? Are these fears legitimate or not?
You know, think about that 90% of the produce is sold through the private sector, right? It's only wheat and rice where MSP has any meaning, and that too only in 5-6 states, you know, not beyond that. So the question is, take the case of milk. Milk, even Nestle buys, Hudson buys, they are all private sector multinationals. And milk's growth is 3 times faster than that of cereals. And farmers are satisfied on both sides. There is a cooperative, there is a domestic private sector, and there is a multinational all operating. And do you know the value of milk is more than that of wheat, rice, and sugarcane combined? Cereals and sugarcane are growing at the lowest rate of growth. You look at poultry sector, which is flying at 8 to 10% per annum. You look at fisheries, you look at milk, they are all growing at 3 to 5 times the rate of growth in cereals, and they are all being handled by the private sector. So why the heavens are not falling there?
Is that the reason why, Professor Gulathi, you and others like you believe that cash crop growing states like Maharashtra, like Gujarat, southern states are not protesting as strongly at the new farm laws, that farmers used to dealing with private sector much more effectively are the ones who will benefit, while those who had the traditional mandi system are the ones who feel in a way worried about the future?
90% of India is dealing with the private sector in agriculture. You know, question is that even private sector is not doodh ka dhula hua, and you know, markets are not perfect. So either you have a system where the state takes over everything. In Punjab, whatever arrivals of wheat and rice come, more than 95%, 97% is bought by the state. You know, the FCI basically operating through the state agency. So it's a sort of a nationalized trade of wheat and rice in Punjab. But none of the other commodities pass through that, and farmers are facing the markets. Sometimes markets go up and sometimes they go down. And there is need to stabilize the markets with, there is need to invest in the infrastructure of those markets. And there are, all these things will happen through the private sector. But first the legal framework has to change to allow that thing to happen. Does the milk pass through the mandi system? Does the poultry pass through the mandi system? And they are doing much better than your cereals group?
No, but in